Hey guys, so today we are focusing on your quads, your thigh muscles, and we are loosening them up. We're going to be primarily doing foam rolling, so you'll want either a ball or a foam roller. But I'll start with a quick bit of stretching first of all, so that you know how to do it, but also in case you haven't got a foam roller, then that's another alternative. So, two different ways of stretching our quads, or three really. They're all the same thing, but done in different ways. Number one, which is my favorite, unless you have grumbly knees, in which case don't go anywhere near it, but I'll show you this one first. Put a cushion down on the ground, and then you want something behind you. It's called the couch stretch, so you could have a couch behind you, a chair, whatever works for you. You've got one knee on the floor, and you've got your other foot up in front, as if you're doing your normal hip flexor stretch, but you've got your foot hooked up behind you. Now then, at the moment, my quads are really tight, and so I'm leaning right forwards because I can already feel that stretch. My goal is to be able to get myself upright, but more importantly than upright, that I've got my pelvis level. So right now, if we imagine our pelvis is a bowl of water, I am tipping 10 ton of water out the front because they're really tight. So I need to take my knee a bit further forwards. Now I'm able to get upright a little bit more, and I can start tucking that tailbone under, drawing up at the front. I'm still tipping water out the front, but I'm doing better than I was. If I could, and I don't think I can just because my foot's going to fall off there, but I could take my knee even further forwards, which would give me a bit more of an easier angle to start drawing up at the front. So you've got your knee on the floor, you're tucking the tailbone under, and you're drawing up at the front, and you are trying to get that pelvis to level, or even trying to tip the water out the back. Now you can either hold, just keep holding it, and depending on how tight they are, you may be here for 60 seconds, 90 seconds. You can either just keep holding it, or if you feel that you kind of lose focus if you do that, you can do breathe out, tuck under, breathe in, relax. Breathe out, tuck under, breathe in, relax. Now, if you have grumbly knees, then you don't want to be kneeling on them like that. So instead, you can lie on the floor and you can take one foot behind you into your quad stretch. Now, this is a quad stretch you've probably done a million times. You could be doing it exactly the same thing standing up. What we normally get wrong is, though, we just kind of grab that heel, we've got our knee all over the place, and we have to stay here for a few seconds, or we hop around on one foot for a few seconds, and then we go onto the other leg. What we want to focus on is I'm trying, and I can't get there yet because I'm too tight, but I'm trying to get that knee to point down to the foot, so in line with my body, pointing straight down. I don't want my knee up here. If it's up here, it's probably because I'm too tight here. So I'm trying to get that knee just parallel with the body. But most importantly, again, I'm trying to be tipping that water or drawing up at the front, tipping the water out the back, except I'm lying on my side, so water's gone everywhere already. But you know what I mean, tipping up at the front, drawing up at the front, tucking that tailbone under. And again, I'm using my breath here. When we're stretching, when it feels tight, we can use our breath just to help to release things, trying to breathe out. So rather than tensing up, trying to breathe out and relax, trying to help that muscle to relax. So whether you're doing your quad stretch on your couch, whether you're doing it lying down on your side, or the other option, which is exactly the same as what we've just been doing, but we can do it in standing. And again, I'm trying, and again, they're tight, but I'm trying to get that knee to point down to the floor below me, and then I'm trying to tuck the tailbone under. Hold on to something for balance, so you're not hopping around. You want to focus on what you're doing there. That's why I prefer the one where I lie on the floor. Okay, that is your stretch. If you haven't got a foam roller, then spend, as I say, a good few minutes on that. If they're tight, spend longer. I'm going to go on to the foam rolling, though, which is going to hurt. So grabbing your foam roller, I'm going to show you how to do it with a foam roller, but I'll also give you an option with a ball. I'm a massive fan of my ball. This is a BlackRock ball. I'll put a link in. But any ball will do. Could be a tennis ball, could be a spiky ball, but they're so good because you can just travel with them, take them anywhere. They'll fit inside a pair of shoes if you're traveling, and then you've really always got an option for foam rolling wherever you go. But I'll start off with the foam roller. In fact, no, I won't, because I'm going to spend longer on the foam roller. I'll show you how would do this if I only had a ball. So if I only had a ball, we'd do one leg per time, and I would just be going side to side over the ball, and I'd work my way all the way up each leg. So it takes a bit longer with the ball, but if that's all you've got, then definitely better than nothing. If you've got a foam roller, though, you're going to start off, elbows on the floor, and you're going forwards and backwards, up and down the front of your thigh. Now, things to watch out for here. I'm keeping my chest parallel with the ground. I'm not going up like that as I come forwards, because that's going to put a load of strain on your low back, and it's meaning we're not keeping that pressure even on your thighs. If your thighs are really tight and this is hurting a lot, then push more into your elbows so that you're taking more weight through the arms, and you can put your toes on the floor as well and just walk the toes along so you're taking more weight through the toes. When we're doing our foam rolling, we never want to go above a kind of 6 or 7 out of 10 in terms of pain. If it's hurting more than that, then we're just going to be tensing up and we're not actually going to be helping the muscle relax. So we want to be relaxing the muscle as we go up and down. So if it hurts too much, and if you haven't done it for a while, it will hurt more. It does get better. But if it hurts too much, like I say, put more pressure into the ground with your feet, with your elbows, so you're taking less weight through the thigh. So we're starting just with some self-exploration, going up and down, starting to get an idea of how tight they are and where they're tight. Is it one side more than the other? I'm then starting to, so I'm turning my toes out to the side. So I'm doing just slightly more on the inside of the thigh. Get an idea of whether that's tighter. And then I'm turning my toes in. You could equally well do inside of one leg, outside of the other. So I'm turning to one side. So I'm doing the inside of my right thigh, outside of my left, and then turn the other way. Now I'm not lying on my side. I'm not rolling the side. Some people might, you might have heard of the idea of rolling your IT band. I do not believe in this. Your IT band is a band of fascia which is strong enough to hang a four-wheel drive off. You are not going to get a change of state in it by rolling it. However, if you're doing it because you've got IT band issues in terms of knee pain or something, your IT band pain often comes from compression around that area, and so you're compressing it further, which isn't going to help. If you do it and it helps you, I'd say fine. It might be more that you're just loosening up the surrounding area, but personally I would not be doing foam rolling of the IT band. So I'm going just to the side of the thigh, side of the quad muscle, the outside of the front I'd call it, rather than actually down the side. So other things that I can do while I'm here, if I find somewhere that's particularly tight, so I'm particularly tight, just above the knees. You don't want to roll the knees themselves, but just above the knees. I'm pretty tight there, so I can either just stay here and try my deep breathing. So just gently, gently rolling through, but with some more pressure on that area as I go. Or I can stay in that position and I can contract and extend the muscle in that position. So I'm bringing my heels in towards my bum, back down again, making sure I'm still not going above that 6 or 7 out of 10 in terms of pain. And that's a really rough idea, but it's just so that you're not actually there going, ow, that it's really hurting. If it's really hurting, then you know you need to back off and just ease around, just do longer strokes to ease into that area to help to get things to loosen up. Another thing you can do, if it feels fairly easy, and I don't think I'll be able to do this without going above that 6 or 7 out of 10, is to start doing one leg. So I've lifted up my right leg, so I've got more weight going through the left leg. Oh, not as bad as I thought. And I'm just going up and down on that left leg. Yeah, I can't do the right leg. But you can try going up and down on each leg. I've kind of got my left leg slightly on, but unweighting it, so I've got more weight through my right leg. So that's my basic quad rolling. As I say, you can do it with the ball. Now, if you ever have knee pain, my first point of call would always be to my thighs. Stretching, rolling, obviously stretching, being careful about compressing the knee as you do it, but loosening up the thighs. If your thighs are tight, if your quad muscles are tight, they're going to be pulling more on that kneecap, so there's more friction there, potentially leading to pain. There's lots of other things, and this isn't about solving the root cause, but this is just about relieving the initial pain, the initial pressure. So first port of call would always be rolling and or stretching my thighs. I would start off with these straight up and down, working through like that. But then particularly if I've got knee pain, and I would do this as a regular check anyway, I would then go onto the inside of my knee. So 2 ways to do this. I'll show you with the foam roller first. The roller is now parallel with my body, and I'm going to put the inside of my knee on it, and I'm going to roll through there. So I'm trying to roll through the inside of my knee. Now this, if you're sore here, is not nice. There's something kind of satisfying but painful about rolling your thighs. This is just kind of almost like tooth pain, like not nice pain. I prefer, I don't know if prefer is the right word, but I find it more effective to do with a ball. And I'm just going to roll through there. I can push down with my knee to increase the pressure, or I can go more gently if it's too painful. And I can work up the inside of the thigh. Don't need to go all the way up the inside. We're not really trying to work your adductors, the inside thigh muscles. We're working, it's called the VMO. It's a kind of teardrop muscle that you see on the inside of the knee. If you see a footballer or something, they have very developed VMOs, that kind of muscle just on the inside of the knee. That's where we're trying to work through. And then obviously you do the same on the other side. Now, if you do have knee pain, as I say, we want to find out the root cause. That's probably more to do with strengthening. There's also other muscles that attach around the knee, so I'd also be looking at the hamstrings and the calves particularly, but those are things for another day. But making sure that you have a regular practice of making sure you're loosening up those quad muscles, whether it's rolling, whether it's stretching, or whether it's a combination of the two, whichever you find targets it most effectively, or whichever one you prefer doing, because you'll actually do it, that is going to be my first port of call for knee pain. So I hope that is helpful. I hope it's not too painful. Do try and make sure that you're adding in that regularly, and I will see you soon for another session.